Welcome back to Tallahassee. Let's get you a look at the
Welcome back to the
team. Just 3 players return who started in that national championship game. Taylor Huff and the 2 outside backs.
Yeah, Beckman in the midfield, a transfer from Texas A&M. She'll anchor the central areas, but really it is all about the front 3. They're all freshmen, so getting them on the same page, feeling confident from the opening week is going to be key.
And then on the other side, for Rice, here is how head coach Brian Lee will line up his team.
Yeah, and they are going to be in a 3-5-2. Tonight, it could look more like a 5-back to give them a little bit more discipline in numbers defensively, but it is going to be all about Porterman, Tennyson, the 2 freshmen in those wide areas, providing the dynamism going forward.
Goalkeepers getting set for both teams. Faith Hutchins, 3-year starter at Rhode Island before transferring to Rice this year. American Athletic Conference Goalkeeper of the Week, Addie Todd, stepping in as the starting goalkeeper for the Seminoles. Rashawn Clark, our referee, says let's go, so let's look the game.
And we are underway at the Seminoles Soccer Complex Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. And we are underway in the first half, and the team we're rooting for tonight's game is Florida State Seminoles. Whoa!
In the opening seconds of this match, Hutchins, we said she was going to have her hands full. My goodness, does she have it right off the front whistle.
Oh, that is exactly where Brian Pinsky wants to see Van Zanten coming out of that left back position, getting into a higher attacking area to be able to influence, try to get on the score sheet in the opening few seconds of this game. Really well done from the sophomore left back. Now, one of the things, Jen, coming into this game was this Florida State team knowing that they need to set the tone. We mentioned in the line.
Around the horn. 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. ES2 HD. Channel 851.
Setting the tone, being direct and decisive with their decisions is going to be key.
And Lori talked about it when we first were looking at this Florida State team and what they might look like this year. Look, they were going to look a lot different anyway, but especially now, the U20 World Cup is coming up. Florida State very well represented. 4 players on the U.S. team. They are all out. That includes Jordan Dudley, Heather Gilchrist, 2 names you know well for Florida State. Also Gianna Riley, a transfer, and Taylor Suarez. And Marianela Jimenez, who's on the U20 Venezuelan team. So now you take this really deep and talented, but new Florida State team, and you take those 5 players off of it. That's going to be a real challenge.
Well, the biggest challenge, you're going to see Taylor Huff, who's going to play an important role not only in this game, but throughout the season as well. Just a leader in the midfield, a really good engine to be able to cover a ton of ground in the central areas, but leads this team in the attack. But one of the biggest challenges is the sheer...
What's on now?
So I would imagine throughout this game, we are going to see them trying to slow things down at times, but then also push the pace, because they aren't going to have the numbers to be able to come off the bench, change the energy of the game when they are ahead or potentially chasing throughout this season. So managing the game, managing the full 90 minutes is going to be key.
A chance now as Florida State continuing to attack. So Washington has a lot of freedom to move around that front line. One of those freshmen you talked about. The entire front 3 freshmen for Florida State. And look how high Addie Todd gets up out of her goal. Sophomore goalkeeper was on the national championship team a year ago, but did not play. Christina Roque, who held down that starting goalkeeper spot for much of the last 4 years. So part of the new look, certainly in goal. And let's get a couple of keys from you tonight, Lori, for Florida State.
Oh, and I already touched about setting the tone early on. We saw Van Zanten come out of that back line. She will play higher up the field. You mentioned their expansive shape. That's going to be key. Already having a lot of possession. So setting the tone, being direct early on, trying to force the turnovers from Rice is going to be key. But then also managing the moments, because they are going to have a lot of the possession. It's about finding the better option. Yes, can they get this Rice back line facing their own goal? But finding those moments when they can really take advantage of it is going to be key throughout.
15 goals through the first 2 games, 11 different goal scorers for the Seminoles. Travis Beckman, number 14 in the middle, who you talked about, has really come in. Transfer from Texas A&M. Chance in the box. The ball just hanging there, waiting for someone to hop onto it. In the end, it was Laura Dantas, a Brazilian, who could not put it on goal.
Well, it's really good work because you can see all of the defenders from Rice University facing their own goal. Then it's the late run from Dantas. No one picks her up right inside the 18-yard box, and you can see immediately puts her hands on top of her forehead, knows she should be hitting the frame at least, forcing a save or finding the back of the net. Golden opportunity early on for Florida State.
And Dantas will also be heading off to Colombia for the U20 World Cup. She will be representing Brazil, so another freshman. And Florida State, a little bit of a victim of their own success. They love to bring in international players. They've got a lot of talent here in Tallahassee, but that depth, as we said, will be tested as that U20 World Cup plays on. A takeaway as Rice moves forward. Camille Quarterman, one of the freshmen, making her first career start tonight. Well, Rice knows they are going to have an uphill battle on the road tonight, Lori. What are they looking for?
Well, we just saw one of the moments that they are going to be looking for is, one, concentration for 90 minutes. Defensively, just making sure that they're in good positions, because they do know that if they're not and they lose concentration, this is a Florida State team that has the talent to be able to punish them. But then also tactically adjust, because typically this is a team that wants to high press, get after their opponent, but we're already seeing them sit back a little bit more. So Quarterman winning that ball, picking off defensively, and then going quickly in the attack is going to be one of the looks for this Rice University team tonight.
Good spin, but the touch just got away from the freshman Sully Washington a little bit. Cat Laser,
let's see how we do.
Christian University.